All right, everyone, here we are with Series 15, Workout B, following on from A. Obviously, we're going to keep the same structure that we worked with yesterday, more of a pure strength focused session to start off with. Going to work through the exact same warm-ups as we did in A, keep things nice and simple so that you can flow through these things nicely, sequentially, and we'll continue to build on that complexity as we go. So, first thing that we started with yesterday was a squat, reach and rotate. 45 seconds working through that before we move on to our second exercise. So we're going to kick straight off into that. Squatting, rotating. Today, we're going to stand in between each rep. Squat, rotate. Same thing as yesterday. We're only going to need one dumbbell or kettlebell or a weight plate, even if you've got it. So just anything to load us with. Everything's going to be purely strength focused today. Same structure that we worked on yesterday. 45 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. Couplets of exercise, rotating them through twice each. We're only going to have one exercise each 45 seconds today. 15-second rest. We're going to work through those inchworms just like we did yesterday as well. So we're going to start standing tall. Fold forward, keeping our knees nice and straight, stretching up to the ceiling at the bottom, okay? Knees are straight, folding down, I'm slowly walking forward. When I get to the bottom here, I'm stretching up and then rocking back, slowly walking back into position, remembering taking as many steps with our hands as we can rather than as few, okay? Falling forward again, still in control here. We're into our first exercise after this. We did them yesterday, a goblet squat. And today we're going to pair that with a deadlift. So whether you've got a dumbbell or a kettlebell, squat's going to be our first, or a plate. Squat's our first, second into the deadlift. So we've got 15 seconds now, and into our first couplet. So our goblet squats. Once again, I've got my nice pink kettlebell. Holding it tall, either here or here, or here if you want a variation. Squatting down low, we've got 45 seconds. We're going to pace ourselves through with it. So a couple of different ways you can hold the kettlebell as I showed. If you've got a dumbbell, always going to be easier for you to hold the handle on either end. If I ever stop as I'm talking through these, just keep you working yourself through. I'll give you a few coaching tips as we go. So holding here, if we've got a plate, strap it across your chest like this, okay, squatting down, working our way through. 15 seconds to go, and then you get pure 15 seconds rest following that. Then we're going to move into those deadlifts. And rest. Nice work. So next is going to be the deadlift. Kettlebell, even if you've got a barbell, obviously working through. See if I can get that clock just into shot. 2, 1, and we're off with our deadlifts. Up, squeeze your bum at the top. Much more of a hinge focused position for these deadlifts. Pushing back, feel your hamstrings. Make sure you're squeezing your butt at the top. Bringing the hips right through. Nice work. Three, 2, 1. Beautiful. So we're back to the goblet squat. I'm going to show you the variation with the plate next, because I've got them here. Go time. In 2, 1. Holding that across my chest, squatting down. Nice work. I'll try and wear some pants with a little bit more contrast in workout C tomorrow, so you can see me against this black flooring a little easier. Constant reps, pacing yourself. We're going to keep moving not rushing our reps, keeping them considered. Five seconds. All right, back to those deadlifts. Once again, I'll show you that with the plate because I've got it here. I'm gonna have to go a little bit wider for my grip. Coming down, holding it here, bringing those hips back through as we get to the top again. And go. Down, you can get a little bit more range than if you're using a kettlebell or a dumbbell. If you've got a dumbbell, hold it side on maybe, rather than in that goblet squat position. You'll get a little bit, a couple extra centimeters at the bottom potentially, just like with this plate here. This is only a 5 kilo plate, obviously quite thin. The heavier the plate you've got, the more it's going to test your grip strength out as well. Moving up onto an upper body couplet after this, 2 new exercises, 10 seconds. And done, nice work. So, first thing we're going to work on today is a row movement. We're going to halve the 45 seconds we're working on, about 22 seconds, then switch sides. Hand on, I've got a bench here. I can really easily use an upright like this. I've got my dumbbell, I'm rowing, trying to keep my shoulders level. A lot of these home workouts that you do, there's generally a lot of press work. So I'm going to try and keep things balanced so we don't overdo our chest and shoulders. Very easy to press with body weight or not many implements. Change things over here, switch legs. Stay nice and square through your hips. We're working our core a little bit more rather than having the knee on the bench. Staying level through the hips, through the shoulders, keeping the elbow tight. Next exercise is going to be a dip off this bench. Nice work. So keeping that controlled tempo. I know it's hard, we don't have a lot of loads when we're working at home with minimal equipment. So next we've got a dip. We can straighten our legs out. The more we straighten our legs out, the harder this will get. So I'm here, my legs are relatively straight to start. I'm trying to keep my shoulders depressed still. I'm not shrugging, keeping my bum close to the bench, back pressing through. Better stop that alarm. We're working our way through, squeezing those triceps at the top. Nice work. Same thing with the lower body work we did. We're going twice through. All right, we're back to those rows again. That position, shoulders are square, elbows nice and tight. Rowing up. I'm trying not to shrug like this as I come up with each rep. Starting in 2, 1, let's go. Rowing. I've got a staggered stance with my feet. I'm using my right arm, my right leg is back, my left leg is forward, helping me stay balanced. Hand is on the bench, shoulders are square across, hips are square at the back. Changing over after one more rep. Switch everything over, feet change, hands change, elbows in tight. Nice work. And we're back to those dips now, all right? Straightening the legs out. If you want, you can use the kettlebell or dumbbell or plate on your thighs to make things a little bit more challenging or slow your reps down. So the slower you're working through, especially on that eccentric or lengthening phase, the harder this is going to be. You can still be explosive on the way up. We're on our concentric phase, but we can pace things that little bit slower on the way down to make the resistance that little bit harder. Or you can bring your knees in if you're finding things hard, or lengthen them right out if you want to add a little bit of challenge to the load as well. Last one. Nice work. We're going to keep reasonably balanced as we said. So we're going to do a lower body exercise. We're going to do a Superman next and a swimming exercise. Had a little bit of, in our series A, a little bit more of our crunch focus work. Last two exercises. So from a push-up position, what we're going to be working through, we're going to come into a super plank. Around, back down. Change sides, out, around, back down. See how much room you've got. How I'm working through with this, I'm in a strong push-up position. Arm comes up, comes straight down to the side, back into position. Arm comes up, straight around to the side, big semicircle, back down into position. All right? So, I'm shuffling back a little so I get a bit more room. I come out, around, back down, out, around, back down. I'm a bit tight for space getting my full semicircle in. Good work. Next, I'm going to be into that back extension. I'm going to lie flat on the ground, hands are on my temples. I'm going to lift my chest up, squeeze my elbows in, bring my hands back to my face, and working through. My legs are going to come up at the same time. All right, so I'm on my belly. I come up, I squeeze in, back to my temples, and back down. Slightly out of shot there. I'm going to shuffle back. Still at our 45, so we come up, squeeze back, hands come forward, legs drop. Up, squeeze, forward, back down. Smooth, controlled. Working our way through. Squeeze. All right, we're back to the super plank next. 15-second break. Once again, lock everything out. Strong position. Up, around, back, change. Okay? Let's do it. Try not to rock side to side. If that means you need to have your feet slightly wider than you otherwise would normally in a push-up position, that'll help you keep balance as you lift one hand up off the ground. Nice work. What do we got? 10 seconds. Last set of back extensions next. All right. Flatten our stomach. As we arch up like a banana, elbows come in. As we drop back down, hands come back to your chest. Let's go. Squeeze and drop. I'm trying to lift from my hips with my legs. So my glutes and hamstrings are bringing those legs up as I come up. And I'm feeling it between my lower back and my middle back, in between my shoulder blades, as I'm squeezing those elbows back in together at the top. Try and look forward as you come up as well. Right, that is our 14 minutes of work done, including our 2 rounds of warm-up. Final thing we're going to do for a cool down today, last 45 seconds. We're going to take a seat. We're going to kick our leg out. Knee in. We're going to hold for 20 on one side. I want your toes back towards your face. Knee flat down into the ground. Stretching out the hamstring. Leaning forward. Now, just like workout A that we spoke about, any of these workouts, you can double it up. If you've got more than these 15 minutes, you might hit straight back to the top and roll through that sequence once again. Slow things down. You might add a little bit more load, changing legs if you're just going to do the 15. Leaning forward, knee down, toes back to you. A lot of different ways we can make this a little more challenging. These videos are just going to be this 15-minute workout. So for those people who are finding getting something in, maybe after a walk or something like that, it's going to be valuable. I'll try and stick to the times. So that's our 15. Once again, minimal equipment, only one dumbbell, one kettlebell or a plate. Today we do have an implement rather than it being bodyweight variations. See how you go with this one. Give me some feedback, keep working through, and I'll see you in the next workout. Cheers.